Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. This is a nice little 80s throwback. You're listening to Real Talk, and I'm joined tonight by Jeremiah and Amber.
Hello.
Thank you all for joining. We're going to dive into the movie Maxxine. It is a recent movie that just came out last weekend. But before we get into the show, please go to all of our social media pages. That is the Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, The Other People's Show. And we have had a couple of good reviews on there on the Spotify page over the last couple of days. So thank you for that. And a few more subscribers. So much appreciated. It's always nice when, kind of the product we put out there, people give their feedback. So it's very, very much appreciated. So how have you all been since we've last seen you?
Pretty good.
Busy.
Yeah.
Now, let's get into it just a little bit. As everyone knows, we're Real Talk, but we're going to get into a little bit. We're not going to do the Other People's Show tonight. So we're going to talk a little bit with Amber and Jeremiah, catch up what they've been up to before we dive into the show. So you all have been to Missouri, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. Oh, man.
What took you down that way?
My family has a farm out there.
Okay.
So we went and stayed for a week and just hung out, checked out all the stuff to do, which is pretty much nothing.
Did you all work on the farm at all while down there?
Oh, yeah. We put the kids to work. They loved feeding the chickens and the goats. And, they had so much fun.
Was it like Pauly Shore and Son-in-Law?
Oh man.
Crawl?
Yeah,
He's
it was
Crawl.
a lot like it.
Yeah.
Did you all get up at the crack of dawn? The break of dawn?
Well, about 8.
No, well,
8:30.
Okay, so
sometimes.
still
Right.
relatively early.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. How long were you all down that way?
We were there for a week.
Okay.
And it took us 10 hours to get there, and then the way back, 15.
What was the problems on the way back?
We left in the daytime.
Children.
So when going down, you were
Children.
at nighttime, right?
Yep.
Do you like driving better at the night or during the day?
The night has its advantages because there's hardly anyone on the road.
Yes.
But it's so dark, especially on that parkway through, is it Hazard?
Yes.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it was miserable on the way back. We still wound up getting back at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Is it difficult? Like, do you have to fight the sleep because of that road? Because I do.
No.
I sometimes do. Like, I have to, because it is so dark and it's so not many people on the road.
Listen, he drove to like Weisberg from Coburn. I took over, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I drove us there.
You drove the rest of the way.
I just slept the rest of the way.
Once
Because
I
there wasn't
did,
no way.
That's like my bad superpower. That's like the worst superpower you could have. I hate driving. I despise it. But once I get behind the wheel, I can do 10 hours, no problem.
So once you're behind the wheel, there's no stopping you. You're awake 100%.
Yeah. And it sucks, but...
I understand. So what else have you all? Because it's been a couple weeks since you all were here. So you did the Missouri trip.
We had a birthday party. My twins turned 5. Pretty much just working.
Okay. So now you're back. This past when did we go watch this movie? We went
Wasn't it Sunday?
last week sometime. We went.
Was it Sunday?
Saturday or Sunday?
It was last
One of
Saturday.
them.
Last Saturday. So we went
Okay.
last Saturday to go check out Maxxine. And Maxxine, as of now, is the ending film in the trilogy created by director Ty West. The trilogy includes X, Pearl, which is a prequel to X, and then Maxxine, the finale. And you all went in not knowing anything about it, right?
Right.
Now, had you all even heard of it at all?
No. Never.
So this intrigues me. So what made you all agree to go to a movie that I suggested that you knew nothing about?
Because you
You have a
You're
pretty
like-
good taste in movies.
I appreciate that.
The
Okay.
movie master.
Okay.
of
Because I
us.
wasn't, because I pretty much I said, hey, we're gonna do this movie. Just you want to come? And you're like, okay, let's go. So you all went in to the movie knowing nothing about the
No.
characters, nothing about the
Absolutely.
backstory,
Nope.
and probably didn't even. Did you all even know this was part of a trilogy?
No.
So
I
no.
thought it was just like
A
this
standalone
was the
movie.
first movie.
Never
Yeah,
even heard
Maxxine.
of Mia Goth or.
Okay, so this opened up a whole new.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so director Ty West, he's primarily known for, the horror movies and such, and he's pretty much came up with his trilogy X, Pearl, and Maxine, and that's what he's known for right now. Now I have read that he does have ideas for a fourth, but whether or not it'll happen, who's to say? Because X and Pearl were filmed at the same time.
Right.
Secretly, like no one knew because it was during COVID times. So they thought they were just making X, but in reality, Ty West
They
was
were
filming
making
both
two.
movies.
Okay.
That's cool.
So yeah, so that was really cool, and
Two birds, one stone.
exactly, and they each cost $1 million, which is relatively cheap.
That's a low budget film.
Yeah, definitely. We've got the cast. We've got quite a few people, but we've got primarily Mia Goth. She's in, I think, every single scene of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Bacon and Hazley is the primary actors and actresses in the film. And a few little facts. Now, there will be a few little spoilers tonight. So, since the movie is just a week old, if people want to tune out for just a moment, then tune back in. Please do so. But some facts. This movie was made very old school, and I find that pretty cool because it
Yeah.
looked old school to me.
I loved the.
The aesthetic of it looked
Yeah.
like it was made in the 80s,
Sure did.
and it was made and created using techniques that would have been implemented in the 80s. They used it on this. So they used all the aesthetics, excluding the cameras. They used modern cameras. But the lighting that they used, they did the same that they did in the 80s. The music, the movements, the camera equipment that they could get a hold of, they implemented that. So I thought that was a really cool thing that they did.
was.
Especially for under $1 million, because some of these things were probably harder to get because the 80s is
course.
almost
Yeah.
40 years ago. So, but that was kind of, in my opinion, 70s and 80s is when like the birth of the horror movie as we know it was born during that time. This is a spoiler. At the end of the movie, for those that have watched it, Maxine is cutting lines of cocaine with her SAG card, and SAG card is Screen Actors Guild membership card, and you get this card when you actually begin acting in a feature film,
Right.
which shows that she actually accomplished her goal
Right.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Because it never comes right out if you think and says that she got the role.
got famous. Yeah.
Right. But it does show that with the card. And if you know what that card is, you know, all right, she was accepted. She got the part. Because
Awesome.
she could have, at one point, as we all know, screwed up. She had the part, but she was walking the fine line. If you
She's
screw this
known
part
for
up,
that.
you're out. And Kevin Bacon, we were discussing this, also plays the villain in last week's movie, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
Mm-hmm.
And I told several people, I told the audience last week, if anyone come up with the right answer of how many times I said the title Axel F, they would get a prize. But no one has got it right.
Uh-oh.
Because I said it quite a few times. I said it over 6 times. That'll be a hint. Over 6 times.
Over
For
6
what?
dogs.
Axel F.
Crazy Frog?
No, for the
Oh, Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly
Axel
Hills
F.
Oh, I was
yeah.
like, that's some Crazy
You
Frog
didn't get to
song.
watch that yet, did
No.
you? Yeah.
It's a
I
good
watched
sequel.
it with Mom.
It's a good sequel. Did she enjoy it?
Oh yeah,
It was a
Yeah.
nice throwback. A nice throwback.
it was.
So the budget of Maxine was a cool $1 million, and as of now, as of yesterday, it made $7.7 million so far. Now that's just the first
Wow.
week, so it'll continue to make some more money, but profitable already.
Very
Awesome.
much.
And it has a rating of Rotten Tomatoes of 74%, which is positive.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
An audience
I enjoyed
score
it.
was 78, and IMDb 6.9. So let's get in
Out of 10, yeah.
to the story. So you all are going into this knowing nothing.
Yeah.
Knowing nothing. So from your all's perspective, and we'll go with Jeremiah, and then we'll go over here to Amber as well. What was your all's, as the movie, as you all were watching the movie, what's going through your all's mind?
This chick is
WTF.
crazy.
Okay.
She's really willing to do whatever it takes to get
So-
famous.
So how far into the movie were you watching? Because obviously you said you enjoyed the movie.
Mhm.
How far into the movie was it before you were like, I'm going to like this movie?
About 2.5 minutes.
Okay. So right away.
Yeah,
Away.
Basically.
Okay, I'm so excited to hear about this because I've been keeping up with this for a while. I saw the first one back in Chattanooga a couple of years back, and then that's when I realized, hey, they made the secret one. I'm doing some research on it, and then Pearl, which you all said you've seen, but you've not seen X as well, which is completely different than the other two, which is very cool. So the plot of the story, you all want to give the plot of the story away? Do you want me to give it? You all are welcome to walk through it if you want to.
No.
So I'll give it
It's been a week.
Okay,
I'm
so
spotty.
so the basic premise is Maxxine, who you've seen in these previous two films, or if you haven't, did you all feel that you were left out because there were a few flashbacks to the previous scenes? Did
And
you all
we
feel
didn't
left out?
see any
Sorta.
of that in
Yeah,
Pearl,
there's something
so
missing.
We knew
Okay.
it had to come from X.
Okay.
But
So as you've watched Pearl, you kind of see
Mm-hmm.
who that was.
A
and-
lot more of it started
Oh my
making
God.
sense.
Yeah, because there were a couple flashbacks, but
insane.
but the basic premise would be is Maxine wants to get out of the adult entertainment
Right.
industry into feature films, and she's going on auditions, and she's very she has confidence like no other. I wish I had that
Oh
confidence.
yeah! As soon as she walked out from the audition and just went off on all of them, I was like, I'm gonna love this movie.
Yeah. And when she was sitting there, she was having her being herself, and then when she went into the character for the audition and started crying and everything, I'm like,
And then just stops on a dime.
wipes her tears away, gets up. You're like, this girl can
She's
act.
an amazing actor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a side note, also a fact, she is the wife of Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, we
we
found
looked
that
that
out
up.
the other day.
Okay.
Man. Wow.
Isn't that random? So odd
Wild
and random.
fact.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's awesome.
So,
But really though, if you actually think about it, who else would Shia LaBeouf be with?
it's perfect.
Like, it's a perfect person.
Because she wouldn't take any guff off of him
Uh-uh.
at all.
He's not going to either.
And after some of the stuff she does, even though I know it's a movie,
Yeah.
like there's a certain part where
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the deaths where she steps on this
The
guy's
Scarecrow.
Oh, that was.
a certain part of this guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I was like,
I saw it
I
coming
loved
and I
it.
looked away.
Me
loved
too.
it.
I looked away.
My stomach immediately
was
went to knots, and I was
glued
like,
to the
nope.
screen. I was like, oh my god, yes! I just really like the part where she put the
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I don't
so
think I
yeah.
could, like, describe that on
I want to
the
write that.
video.
I want to write that so we make sure to discuss that. So basically, as she gets the role in this movie, there's also she begins getting notes about and stuff about somebody's trying to meet up with her, basically.
Right.
And there's also the Night Stalker
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
was the murders,
He's
which I think was
murdering
real
Yeah.
murders. I think
Celebrities.
yes,
Yeah.
and I think that actually was a real thing that happened in the 80s.
It was
the Night Stalker.
Stalker. It was.
So all these kind of things are going on at the same time, and she pretty much doesn't want any of these distractions to
Yeah.
take away from her goal of becoming a legit actress.
Right.
Nothing was standing in her way.
No.
And,
No, she proved that.
She
a few
proves
times.
it. Yes. And so that's the basic story. So we'll get into the characters a little bit. We won't go too deep since it's a brand new movie. But we've got Mia Goth as Maxine. What did you all think about her and her performance?
One of the
Loved her.
best actresses I've seen. She's got a very, very bright future ahead of her.
And you all
I
said
do
you all
believe.
had not
I've never even
Never.
heard of her before.
Never.
She was awesome.
Okay.
And when I watched Pearl, after I had just seen her in Maxine, I was like, what?
Even better.
I was
Crazy
like,
performance.
God.
Yeah, yeah. So and then you've got Kevin Bacon as, and he plays the
always great.
slimy,
Yeah.
sleazy
Which
private
is-
detective.
Which is weird because that's not typically his role in movies. He's usually one of the good guys. He's usually the one trying to catch the guys like
Yes.
he's
Yes.
playing in this one.
He's usually not, and then he gets his butt whooped too.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he
yeah.
does.
Well, his face, and it was very, very painful.
Yeah.
I would, if that were me, I would have quit following her right away.
Yeah, of course.
I think after,
With the keys.
yes,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that
She
was-
just gave me a great idea.
yes. I probably, to be honest, because for the audience, he's hired by someone in the third act to kind of follow her around and kind of spy on her. But
Right.
she's kind of realizes, hey, this slime ball's following me around,
So,
and she kind of takes care of it
Right,
on her
of
own
course.
terms.
So the
She always
person-
does.
I always been wondering this. The person that's in the final act, was he in X? Or is this his first time popping up in the series?
You know, I think he's referenced in X.
Okay.
He's not like
So-
he's in it, but not as much of a part.
I'm
Right.
sure that this girl will get a prequel then,
Sure,
like
yeah.
Pearl did.
Yeah,
Should, yeah.
yeah, I think so too, and I don't see a reason why.
Maybe that's what the fourth one's about that
That's what I
he's
was
talking
just
about.
saying.
Yeah,
Bringing out.
it definitely could be. And then you've got Hazley, and I think she played. Was she the director?
Is it
She was.
Maxxine
She
or
was
is it
one of the
Halsey?
directors.
And I don't know if I'd seen her in a movie before.
She's in songs with Eminem. You know that, right?
Which one?
Halsey.
She's in it?
Yeah, she's in songs with Eminem.
Oh, with songs.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's a singer.
I'd heard of her
Yeah.
own stuff, but had she been in other movies?
I don't know if she's been in any other movies.
Because I hadn't.
I
But
don't
she
think
looks
so.
like
I don't know.
she would she looks like an
definitely could play
actress,
the part. Yeah, she's a pretty woman.
and she does a good job because she
Yeah,
is she British in real life?
British. Yeah,
Okay.
but she's got like a perfect American accent, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think so too. So let's see what we got here. I thought she did a good job, and I thought her character was. I thought there were some good female characters in this
Oh, yeah.
in this movie,
Very, very good.
and some strong ones too. Like I don't think I would have wanted to mess with any
No,
of the female characters in
Uh-uh.
this movie
nope.
at all.
They've got my condolences.
Yeah.
I hope they make more movies.
So did you all have a favorite or a least favorite scene in this movie?
Oh, that earring. When the
Oh
earring
yeah,
gets
that
ripped.
would definitely be the worst.
I could handle that one part because like that's just rage fueled and I loved that.
Right.
But
You would- you would
where y'all
dis-
looked
you would-
away,
you would-
that
you
was
would-
probably my favorite part of the
And,
movie.
and see, that's the thing. That would be a stand-up part that women will love.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
Of course.
And whenever I saw it, like
That's
I saw,
a primal rage.
I saw the
Yeah.
heel on it, and I looked away immediately
Yep,
because I knew.
Yeah. Oh, I know, man. That
No,
was my
oh.
least favorite part of it. I couldn't watch it either. I was just like,
It
nope.
was so effective
Close
that
my
we
eyes
didn't
for a
even
minute.
that the guys don't even have to watch it. It's so
oh my
effective.
Gosh, listen,
Yeah.
What part of the movie was it that Lana said, "We're the only ones in here laughing"?
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
when that dude got his
His
he
head.
got it, yeah.
So
he
spoiler,
went to
uh,
splats.
Yeah, it was a
Right
serious
behind the
part
Hollywood
in the
sign.
movie, but I think the visual
yeah.
was
That's what-
so.
We're so desensitized to these
Yes.
things. It's
And I wasn't expecting it to look like that at all.
It was great. It was perfect.
Because
man.
nobody else laughed, just
Yeah,
us.
yeah, just
We
us.
Us
Oh man, wait, were we supposed to laugh? Or
That
are
was
we
the-
about to get chased out of the movie theater?
No, I don't know if I had a specific favorite scene, but I did like all the music choices.
Yes, great
like we talked
music.
about
Oh, yeah.
earlier.
Great.
I liked the way the movie looked.
Oh,
And-
when she had her makeup done, and it was
Oh,
like the
yeah.
montage of. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was getting like Quentin Tarantino vibes.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I would say like the scene we'd mentioned. It wasn't a least favorite scene, but it was the most painful scene to me. The one
Yeah.
I didn't watch.
Well, I don't know, man. Kevin Bacon's
Getting hit.
scene.
That was pretty
in
rough.
the-
Oh, when the
The
crusher.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, man.
I'd forgotten about that, and that was
Like a pancake.
how long. Like, I mean, his death was over pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would you say? 5 seconds?
Probably.
Yeah.
God, that'd be the
Couldn't
most
have been more than
excruciating
that.
5 seconds.
Would that
of
not
your
be
life.
horrible?
It would be absolutely terrifying.
I mean, you couldn't even imagine. Like, as soon as you realize I'm getting smushed, you're smushed.
what are
too
you
late.
gonna do? Cry about it? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't see that death coming either. Not that
no,
way. Not
absolutely
that way.
not. No.
Not who orchestrated it either.
No.
That threw me off.
And they had her back. Her
Yeah.
friends
Yeah, they
had
did.
her back. The way they set that up,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
it could have
That
been
was
planned even
awesome.
better. Any
Yeah.
better. So what about the originality of this movie?
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Man. Absolutely.
I thought so too.
Definitely.
Because
something I'd
like
watch
they,
again, too.
you know, aside from just trying to make the movie look like it was from the 80s or whatever, dude, the music, from everything from the music to like the billboards and the backdrops,
Yeah.
man, were all retro. Like, I don't even understand how they could do that. Like, with $1 million, how many signs they had to change
Yeah.
and stuff to make these
Well, just like
towns
this-
look retro.
Like part of
and-
this music right now?
Right. Exactly. Like, how do they do that? With $1 million,
No.
man, and still pay everybody?
I know. Now, what I'm thinking is probably all the actors and actresses worked for what they call scale pay, which is the
Right.
lowest you can pay. And they'll do a back-end deal. If the movie makes a lot of money, they'll
They
get a
kickback.
percentage.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yep. That'd
Because
be
if-
the best way to do it.
Because
on
if
a
you got a
low-budget film.
$1 million movie and it makes
Yep.
20,
Yep.
and you ask, all right, how about I want 10%?
Give me exactly.
That's
You're
a mil-
getting ripped off.
Yeah, yeah.
Best way to do it would be to take a percentage.
I think so too. And what the poster? Have y'all looked at the posters? There's a couple different posters.
I saw the one you tagged us in. With
Um,
the axe.
There was that. I thought that
Yeah.
one was a cool one, but there's a couple different ones, and every one is very effective. I think. Let me bring some up here.
I think a good one would be where she has the gun in the dude's mouth. Just
That
like
would be a good one.
snapshot of that.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be great.
I loved the lines for
Yeah.
that part. That
Oh,
was
me too.
amazing.
Those are not radio ready though, so we
No,
can't,
no.
we
True.
can't talk about that.
Well, there's another one where she's got it's from behind her. And she's got an axe in her hand, and
Right.
she's got like 80s looking like that one.
Oh, I like that.
And then let's see. I saw some other cool ones. Let's see if I can find them real quick.
She's so pretty.
There was a couple different ones I found somewhere. Let's see. We've got that one. That one there I thought was kind of cool. And that one's just basically just of her face.
You know what it reminds me of? Xanadu.
Yeah.
Cover for Xanadu.
I could see that. I could see that. I could see that. So there's a couple different posters, and I when I saw these posters, it makes me think of like an '80s throwback slasher
Yeah.
retro film, and I think they did a good job. I
They
really
did.
do.
They really did, man.
And so, what's your all's comparison between Maxine and Pearl? What would you all say?
They are two totally different films. Don't even put them in the same category.
Maxine was like,
I really
that was the first one we watched. It was like,
I
whoa.
I enjoyed Maxine
Right.
more than I did Pearl.
Okay.
See, I'm different on you on that one because I liked Pearl better. Pearl was more unpredictable.
Okay.
and
It was.
It
but
went in a way different direction than what I thought it was going to.
So when
I
you
thought
all
she was gonna be
that
a
last
success.
scene where she's just sitting there
Oh, in the credits
smiling
roll.
for like
3 or
10
4,
minutes or
was
something.
it 10 or
for
something?
it was a long time.
Yes.
But it's just the camera slowly panning and getting a little smaller. And she's just sitting here holding that same creepy smile when her husband came home from the war finally.
Yes.
Oh man, that creeped me out.
I think
That's not
emotionally,
nerve
my opinion, I like them all.
Right.
And I can't. It's hard for me personally to say one's better than the other because
Right.
they're all so different.
Yeah, they're like totally different kind of.
We
things.
ain't
You
watched
can't
X
compare
yet,
'em.
so
Right.
we gotta watch
Yeah.
it first.
The Pearl made me feel the most uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I
For
felt-
sure.
I get that.
Very
Like weird.
Yes.
It was
The
just-
bath scene, I felt bad for
dude,
her.
and her dad
I
both,
do
man.
too.
Like
Yeah.
he's just sitting there like, I
I
know
mean-
something. I'm not supposed to be watching this, and she's just like lifting her legs up, scrubbing herself, and her mom comes in there and is like, Pearl.
Yeah, yeah, and I thought Pearl was more
I
is the
didn't
most
wanna waste the
disturbing
hot water.
of the three. It's the
Yeah.
most disturbing.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
weird.
And when you all watch X, maybe we could do that on the show as well
Yeah.
because it's a good, and I'd rewatch it again as well.
I would definitely like to see Maxxine again when it comes out.
Yeah, and it should be out pretty quickly. I would assume.
Future reference, you know what we need to do, man? And they've been teasing and teasing and teasing for a show to come out for this movie. And I've been waiting for it. 13 Ghosts.
Oh yeah.
They're supposed to be like bringing out a show that's going to go into every ghost background, like how they got, you know, they kind of touched on it in the movie. You know, like, well, this, you know, the Prince and the Jackal, they like kind of touched on how they got turned into ghosts.
Well,
I
you were
guess.
you were saying that you mentioned that once before that they were
Yeah.
thinking about doing a show.
It's been teased forever, man, on Netflix. Like it was even on their official page at one time. And
Now I'm looking to see if 13 Ghosts is playing on anything because I thought of that the other day that maybe we can do that one in the future.
yeah, that'd be an easy one to do. There's not like a whole lot of. We'd be able to talk about it on the radio. Anyways.
Yeah, and I think that's like we discussed. That was in the line of films like House on Haunted Hill,
Right.
Ghost Ship.
Yep.
Ghost
Ship had one of the most grotesque entries to a movie I've ever seen.
Well,
man.
you all
That's
said, or I think
crazy.
Amber directly
name?
said that you didn't need that you had that burned in your brain
Yeah.
after just one viewing.
Oh yeah,
You don't
that's
need to
all
s-
it takes,
That's-
man.
I don't need to see that again.
Crazy.
And you know what? That's the funny thing. I don't remember. I vaguely remember the movie, but I do remember that particular
Yeah.
scene very
Yeah,
well.
You will if
Okay.
you've seen it. Yeah.
Listen to this. There's this movie that I saw on television at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 10 or 15 years ago. And it was like some home invasion scary movie. And it was about a whole family trapped in the house. Their power got shut off. And there's like a bunch of people outside trying to break in and murder them all.
The
Well, anyway,
Strangers?
No. They're way older, mid 90s at least. And they put the dog's head in through the doggy door, and then they went to go grab the dog, and he threw in the head.
Oh.
And that's all I remember from that whole movie. It was like burned into my brain, and I can't remember what it was called. I was a kid. It was scary.
Is it the family begins to call the dog and then the dog head rolls through the doggy door?
Yes.
Let's see.
Maybe he didn't stick it in. I can't remember.
Let's
I
see.
remember a dog head coming through the door though, and it was terrifying to me.
I wish I could find.
Probably corny as crap.
It was, but you know, I was a kid living out in the boonies in the
Yeah,
middle of nowhere.
no kidding.
So, a friend of mine described vividly a vivid memory she has of watching a clip of a movie, and it is a family inside of a house, and there are two men coming towards the house. Oops, an ad popped up.
No, Funny Games is not it though. That is a good movie.
That's a good one.
That was a weird movie.
It is, and
You
there's
got
two
some
versions of
nerves.
it too. There's two different ones.
Yep.
She thinks she looks at the house was white and looked like a farmhouse. The family is hiding inside near the front door, trying not to see the men outside. You can hear the family's dog barking outside, and then the dog sticks its head through the doggy door. She remembers it being a large dog, like maybe a German Shepherd.
Yes.
The
it
head
was.
moves back and forth as if the dog is looking to the left and to the right. The family begins calling for the dog to come inside. and then the dog's head rolls through the doggy door.
Yes.
And
that's
this is
it.
what you're talking about?
Yes, this is exactly it. Please
Right.
answer the
Right.
Now, this
the
is
question I've
on
had for half my
a...
life.
Let's see. Somebody said there was an image. Oh, it's a locked post, and I can't see the image to see the movie. But I just
Of
typed
course.
in what you just said,
Well, I'll do it when I get.
and that popped
here.
up.
Man, there was a show or a movie one a long time ago that I've been trying to find since I was a kid. The kid's riding like a mini bike, and these other kids are chasing him on other mini bikes, and he's got like a really cheap little mini bike, and he ends up wrecking because a truck carrying like 1,000,000 potatoes wrecks right in front of him, and he wrecks into the truck and he dies. So the only scene I remember from this movie is the kid's like buried
Yeah.
underneath all these other potatoes, and like his little foot sticking out, and his
Wheel
bike's
is spinning.
wheel is it's like
Aw.
spinning. And that's I don't for some reason I brought that movie up to my dad, and he
But you
probably
can't
don't
recall what it
remember
is?
Nothing. Yeah.
What
He
about the
said it was
people under the
pumpkin
stairs?
head.
Would that be
What is
The
it?
people under
the people
the stairs.
under the stairs?
I don't know.
I've seen that movie. That was a weird movie.
I wish I could find. Now I'm like determined to find what it is now, because several people have mentioned this dog's head, but I cannot find out what it's called.
Have you checked Reddit?
Yeah, that's where I'm seeing it. That's exactly.
If you can't find it anywhere else, go to Reddit.
Okay, the movie is called Fear
Fear.
Fear.
with
Oh,
Mark
okay.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg,
Marky Mark.
his gang cuts off the head of Reese Witherspoon's family's dog and throws it through the doggy door.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen the movie Fear, but I've only seen it one time. I don't recall that part.
He was still modeling for Calvin Klein back then.
This was
wasn't
his
he?
first movie.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Really?
gosh.
Yep. Yeah. Now, did you all ever hear
That's great.
the song that Marky Mark put out?
Oh
No.
yeah. Oh, I love it. Dude,
You have
he's
it?
awesome. He
No.
can rap like
What?
old school rap. He's awesome.
Okay. He's got two. I did have. Actually, I don't want to say did. I still have the cassette tape
Uh-oh.
of Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Oh my god.
That was the cassette tape.
Oh hey,
Heck
Season
yeah.
of the Witches dropping their new album on cassette.
That is so cool.
Cassette.
Yes,
Oh
cassette
no.
and
I gotta
CD.
get one of them.
That is so cool. Okay, here's a little bit of
Maybe not
Marky
CD,
Mark.
but I don't know. Okay, wait. When was this released?
1991.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 92. Let's see if I can find out real quick.
You'll hear it, boy.
This was the #1 song in 1991.
Oh man.
This was a big song.
Good vibration.
And then they had another top 10 song too after this one. Here's Marky Mark.
Yo, it's about that time to break forth the rhythm and the rhyme. I'm gonna get mine, so get yours. I wanna see sweat coming out your pores. On the house, tip the sound, swing.
Have you never heard this before?
Boy, singing this
Okay.
to the entire nation. Black, white, red, brown, feel the vibration. Come on, come on. Feel it, feel
All right, here's another one. Let's see if Jeremiah's heard this one. This one's called Wild Side.
Uh-oh.
This one. And this one's a very serious Marky Mark.
Very serious.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hey, speaking of very serious, Eminem dropped his new
Oh
album.
no. Oh. Yeah, we can't talk
America the
about
Beautiful.
it. Oh, I've heard this.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's walking in the street with
Introduce
some
you.
homies.
outside.
Now he's sitting shirtless on the cheerleading stand.
Annie was a high school cheerleader. Pom-poms and Bobby socks and no girl was sweeter. Come prom time, everybody was on the line. All the fellas singing nickel and dime. Tales about love and lust and trust. But Annie took it all in stride, cause deep inside Annie had aspirations. Besides that, she had expectations. Wanted to be a chemical engineer, making 50 to 55,000 a year. Her first year of college was a success, but along comes Billy, possessed and obsessed. He took Annie on a fatal date and showed her things that made
Somebody's selling her drugs at the high school right now.
One for life,
Oh, wait, no,
the last for
bad.
death.
Bad.
She's gone
Bad.
from a valedictorian, ended up becoming a topic for historians. Washed up dreams, shattered pride, all because Annie took a hit on the wild side.
What? What is it? Kid on the wild side?
Well, see, it,
somebody took a
In the
hit on it.
90s. What would that be?
well, you see, he's sampling this Lou Reed song. Have you heard of Lou Reed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So here. This is pretty much we're pretty much doing an episode of the other people, basically.
are.
If you think about it, it's segued. So he was. It's okay. So we'll show a little bit of the Lou Reed song, and then we'll end the show. But yeah, Marky Mark Fear is the name of that movie.
Marky Mark Fear.
So here's the original version from I think the 70s.
Holly came from Miami, FLA.
Have you heard
My
this?
mama listens to this. Dude.
Does she?
Yes.
So did you know that Marky Mark had a song that
I
was
did
sampling
not,
this?
dude. I really did.
That's cool.
Like I thought I'd heard that before, but I didn't realize it was this
Take a walk on the
song.
wild
Like
side.
in the background.
Yep.
Never realized.
This is a good background song.
It is. It's got
But it's-
plenty of bass.
But it's a good song. But yeah, Marky
is.
Mark sampled that one.
That's awesome.
So now Amber knows that Marky Mark had an album out.
Rap career.
And-
And you know what happened to Vanilla Ice? He started doing DIY shows.
Vanilla Ice is worth about $20 million. He has stayed relevant somehow this whole time.
What?
He builds houses.
Yes, and he used to race dirt bikes also.
Always
What?
gotta have something going on.
Yeah.
Race dirt bike.
And
Hey,
then he went to when Trump was doing some kind of thing at his Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, yeah.
He was down there singing Ninja Rap
Yeah.
a couple months.
I remember that.
With the turtles
Hey.
were down there.
Yeah. Hey, if Vanilla Ice is listening to this, I challenge you to a dirt bike race. My property, though.
That would be
And
cool.
you don't get to see it before you race it.
That would be cool. Vanilla Ice, please. No, I've got a Vanilla Ice cassette tape too. Vanilla Ice cassette tape.
You can only get so
Black
cool,
Sabbath
dude.
cassette
No.
tape.
I know. It's called To the Extreme. Vanilla Ice had he had like his hair was high. It was
Oh,
high.
yeah.
And then he had some kind of symbol shaved into it. Maybe like it might have been like
Was
a
it
lightning.
Prince?
It was like a
Oh,
lightning bolt or
man.
something. It was some kind of.
Oh yeah, the little lightning bolt he had shaped
On the side or
He
something.
had
Yeah,
like a
listen.
crow top, a crew top or crow top,
Yeah.
whatever they call it.
Yeah, it was like
a pencil
yeah.
eraser.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Slim Jim, dude.
Yeah, I used to have lightning bolts shaved into my head. I went crazy and shaved all my hair off.
Dude, I was going to replant that sunflower for you today, and I forgot.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was going to plant it right there at the beginning of your driveway, and I forgot to.
That was much appreciated. You coming there today. I appreciate that.
Yeah, ain't
I
no
appreciate
problem.
that.
Dude, that yellow jacket's and that scared me, man. I went to
See, I didn't even realize
seen
it
them
was-
swarming, and I was like, there ain't no way they've got a nest built there. I went to pull a little bit of the pine needles that was in there, and
Yeah.
it pulled like a whole chunk of it. Oh, they got mad.
See, there used to be trees
Yeah,
there, and that's why there's all that
pine needles.
stuff was up there.
I
Yeah.
cleared all of it off your roof too, man. Like as far as I could reach, anyways.
It looks good. It looks
Yeah,
good.
Appreciate it.
So thank you all for tuning into the show. As always, please go to the social media pages: Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. The Other People's Show. I think next week we're going to do the movie Longlegs. It is a serial killer movie, kind of like I've heard between Seven and Silence of the Lambs.
Is that the one you said that was supposed to be like the scariest movie of the year or
Yes.
something?
It has like a 94% positive on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's great.
So we'll check it out. So
Love me a good
Amber,
scary movie.
Bullfrog, thanks for tuning in or joining in for the show.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us,
for
man.
having us.
You all have a good night, everyone. Good night.